All right, we're here on the Informed Voter. I'm the good Dr. J. Adam. We are exhausted, to be honest, and I say we as the collective we as a community, but probably more exhausted than even I am is Steve Lawson, who's in the studio with us tonight, who emerged victorious in the Republican primary to be the sheriff here in Bradley County. Now, you do have a challenger in the general election. I don't know who this write-in guy is. I've never met him, and I've never met the in family.
Was it you?
But I don't know the write-in people that on the ballot.
Sure.
But uncontested, so that you're obviously the heir apparent to the Bradley County Sheriff's Department, of which you've had a lot of history.
Sure.
Even recently, before you stepped away to run for this election.
Right.
I kind of want the global. How do you feel right now? Aside from the exhaustion that we know you feel.
I'm blessed. I'm humbled that the people of this county are giving me the opportunity to serve as their sheriff. Over the years, and it's been advertised pretty good, that I've been beat before. I really want the job, and I do want it for the right reasons. I want to represent that department, and I've said in the campaign that I would never embarrass you. I want to make the sheriff's office better. I made footprints in life at the sheriff's office as the drug task force. I've tried to get better, and I've noticed throughout the campaign if I got hit on anything, it was changing parties. But that's where I lie now, and I feel good about the people of this county have accepted me and given me the opportunity, and I'm never going to let them down. So I guess that's what's going through my mind, Adam. I'm never going to let the people down. I'm humbled, and I want the job for the right reasons.
Now, back in January, right after you declared and decided to run, you sat right here at this table for Inside the Interviews for an hour-long segment, and that's still posted for those who want to see it.
Right.
And you and I talked a little bit about you as a man and your family and your history with Drug Task Force and the Sheriff's Department, and you shared your vision. Has that vision altered any as you've progressed through the campaign and you've kind of hit the rocky spots of having to deal with personalities and the issues out there? Have you found that people have signed on to that vision, or have you had to kind of tailor it going forward?
You know, if you check, I come up with a platform and laid it out as to my intentions as to where I wanted to go. And I also said that we've got to get better at the sheriff's office, I believe, in the interview I done with you. And we've got to work with the county commission to get better. We can't keep losing people and being a training ground for other agencies. And I've talked to county commissioners, and they want to do that. They want to come up with some goals over 4 and 8 year plans to make the sheriff's office better. Listen, as sheriff, I want to oversee the best crime-solving people that we can have, and that's our biggest asset, our people. But I also want to represent them and try to get better and make sure they have the best training, the best equipment, and just make it better. When I leave the sheriff's office, I want to say it got better under Steve Lawson administration, and that's what I intend to do. Surround myself with the best people I can find. They got to have a good work ethic. If I go out at night at 3 a.m. on a shooting or this or that, I would hope my people under me are ready to go as well. And that's who I am, and maybe a little bit of the old school to mix in with the new technology. But I look forward to it. I look forward to the challenge.
How important are the people who helped you in this campaign? I mean, you had the Lawson shirts everywhere. You obviously had a mob of people at your party tonight. How important is it when you're running a county race to have advocates, to have people out there delivering your message and speaking with your voice?
Absolutely important. I'm blessed to have the campaign that I had. Some of the times I've run before, and I think some people here will agree with me, we probably had the best campaign.
Welcome into the studio, Jimmy Logan
what's
Esquire.
his last name?
Jimmy Logan Esquire. It's late, Jimmy, and we're all tired. You've been on the microphone longer than I have.
I have.
But yeah, your people, they were
they were a big asset. I mean, we knocked on doors, and I would go knock on doors with them. And some of those precincts where I went and knocked on doors, you see the results. And we picked out some precincts that I knew we needed to win. We needed to win. And I would tell those people would say, you come to my door, I've got to vote for you. And so I think that personal touch, and maybe that's the old school of politicking is going up a street knocking. You saw me.
Yeah, you came
saw
through
me
our
in your
neighborhood,
neighborhood.
came through our
And I
neighborhood.
came through your neighborhood because you said how hard I was working.
Yeah.
And I was, and we knocked on doors and tried to meet as many people as we can and talk to many people
Now,
as we
your
can.
son knocked on my door, and I
Yes.
personally think he needs to run for sheriff because he campaigned pretty well when knocking on doors out there. So maybe the heir apparent.
Well, it's a great family Steve has, Adam. There's just no question about it. And having known both of these candidates for many, many years, you know, it's been a wonderful campaign from the perspective of, I think, that each of those candidates are stronger people today for having gone through this campaign. As tough as it may have been at times, Steve Lawson, don't you feel that you're a stronger individual today as a result of having gone through this additional election?
Yeah, and it's just like I was telling Adam, the social media stuff is awesome. I mean, they will hit you and are ruthless. Is that fair? And as you well know, I went through, and I told my wife this yesterday. I said, now look at the whole campaign and what have I really got hit with? And you know, in this campaign, if there had been something there, you would have really got hit. And there was one thing, it's changing parties. And that's what I had to answer to, and I think I answered it well. I told the truth about why I switched parties. That's who I am. I'll still never change as a person. I'm always the same person that I was many years ago. That's who I am. And but anyway, it's the social media stuff's tough, but it makes you tough. You got to be tough-skinned, and I'm not sure a lot of people won't step aside from running for political office because of that. It's tough.
Well, and I know on Man Up America, we've made it an effort to tackle the anonymous sites, the people who speak behind a cloak of cowardice and indiscriminately. I think everybody's kind of had those folks out there, and it's interesting when we reach out and we talk to the candidates like yourself, and you're saying, if I knew who it was, you know, if I knew who I could get after it to pull them back. But oftentimes you don't know. These are people who are just doing stuff willy-nilly, and you don't know who they are.
I'll agree with that, but then on the other hand, the one that hit me, I don't think any of them compared to it.
Oh, no, it was focused quite.
So that was kind of out, you know, and they'd bring this or that, or bring my family into it, or bring this, or have me with a cigarette in my mouth, which I hadn't smoked in years, gave it up. I did, and I gave it up, and praise be, boy, I can breathe now, and so on and so forth. But it is what it is, and I feel good about where we're at today. Well, I look forward to serving the people of this county. I look forward to getting started, using common sense and putting together the best staff that I can put together to serve the people. And I told my crowd this a few minutes ago. I want to put together a transition team to get the best people I can get. But when we put those people put together, nobody has to tell me how good I am. Just tell me the truth. Because if you put together your staff, you listen to them because they may have a better idea than you, and we want to move forward. So I'm the type of person, I want to come in and high-five and do our job, and we solve 20 burglaries, boy, we're going to have a good time. And you're always going to have some bad times when you're sheriff, especially when you've got 550 inmates and some things we have to address are correctional officers. I've got a list of things. They'll say on day one, I want to look at this and see where those salaries and what those jobs are. But there's a big job. But on the other hand, you got to surround yourself with the best people you can find that will tell you the truth and listen to them and make them inclusive.
Wonderful.
How about that? Steve Lawson, the sheriff, beginning midnight morning.
September 1.
I don't think Steve may not have his plans yet for that, but it's something I know he'll give a great deal of thought to as to how that process takes place in terms of the transition. And as you know, Adam, once you get a nomination, once you win a race, you've got a planning period time available to you, and that's very important. And we've seen that with many of our governors in our state, and it has worked wonders to be able to have that time to plan. Steve, I know you've got to go. Thank you for being with us here.
Thank you. Sheriff.
Thank you.
He's going to go to the big media now. The big media.
You know what? They don't touch as many people in Cleveland as we do, but because there's a competition there, unless all three of them
I'm
are.
blessed to have been here, Jimmy.
Hey, thank you.
As you well know, I just addressed my crowd, and I said I've got to go, and I'll be back.
You got
So
it.
that's what I'm doing. I said I have 96 text messages that I haven't looked at. So what we will do is I'll go home tonight, and I'm kind of, what is it, hyped up?
Yeah.
I just feel good, and I'm not sure I can sleep, so I'll probably go through all my
I
text
bet you'll
messages.
sleep just
Thanks so much,
fine.
Steve. Good to see
Thank
you.
you, Sheriff.
you.
We'll be back. We're going to take a quick break, and the Esquire and I are going to do a post-mortem on this election. There's a couple other big races that happen tonight, and hopefully we'll have some folks step in. So, again, you're listening to Informed Voter right here on WTNB, Charter Channel 5, Comcast 210, Digital TV Dial 27.1. We'll be back in a moment.